So, if all demons are demarcated by their militaristic, actually, ability and prowess, like they, all of them hate each other. Even when one demon is telling another demon that I just ordered you $40,000 of hot dogs, and the other demon is like, oh great, that'll sound like fun. Like they're like thinking like, this motherfucker got me, you know what I mean? I'm demarcated by a militaristic prowess and ability to accept graciously that these additional chores and whatever they just strap onto you. Like, wait, like this is just like all sin is related to Epstein, like in a sense of enabling or complacency or something like that is exploitable weakness, like greed or animosity. And there's nothing you can say except being like sounding like thrilled that you're going to be brought to in on a ritual or something where you have to. And I'm not making this up. It was in the Epstein files how they like rip a baby apart and eat the feces. You know, the Pope came out, Pope Francis, on mainstream television, and he was lecturing people about how if they believe conspiracy theories that they exhibit similar to coprophagia or something like that. But he can't touch a motherfucker. If I believe in conspiracies, he can't fucking touch, he can't fuck with, he can't fade, he can't nothing, you can't fucking, you're over there. That's why they have access to you. If they invited you to a pizza party, you have to go, and you have to act like you're happy to go. You have to tell them thank you and everything. But all sin being related to Little St. James Island or something, like telling people about bearing false witness is going to tie them into everything, because they'll be blindsided, and or like not blindsided, but like they'll have to capitulate to. So demons make other demons capitulate, and then to carry on as normal, to protect himself from being prosecuted or something. Karlin Borisenko was pointing out that the just throwing the word pedophile around like it means nothing is the reason why communists are now able to rightfully declare that like conservatives are protecting pedophiles because Trump is in the Epstein files or something. And I've heard people just like saying like something pedophile, ha 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 ha, like laughing and shit. Like they're just throwing it around like it's not a real thing. I don't know what enables that. It's alienation and wanting to be part of a prominent, or like not prominent, but like a group that's like, as a tenant or something, it would be like, oh, you don't have like this and that like problem. Like they try to say like they're lazy, they like, okay, let's take a sin like stealing. you're indifferent to the fact that whatever you're stealing is something that somebody needed, right? Maybe you say like, oh, they can afford to lose it, or they have insurance, or this or that. But you're going to drive up the cost of their insurance. You're going to temporarily make them not functional, like because they need whatever that you took from them to be a function or participate in being productive or something. So it's the indifference and the rationalization why that messes people up. Like you don't go to hell for murder, but treachery does take you to hell, right? You go to hell for the treachery. And if you don't know these, like if you don't know about that, like maybe you're choosing not to because it's innate, like you already understand it before you need a language in order to express it. Like now you need overthinking and rationalization, and so part of your brain is atrophying, or it's not getting used, or you're wasting it on juke moves instead of problem solving and creativity. So it's like we think that there is a enrichment or something, or what's it? There's a thing. What is it? People think that logic exists in the world, is one way to put it. Like the processes of logic exist to a person to access, using that the brain that they were given, but the logic itself doesn't exist any place in the world. So like the idea that there's like it could just be attributed that like whatever I want to say exists as a thing, that like we all know this, like we all know, or it's like empirical, it goes without saying, and you wouldn't have to be rationalizing if you could grant that the process of logic doesn't exist in the world. But it's like they'll try to say like, oh, you don't even know how to think. You're trying to say that logic doesn't, that logic doesn't exist because you can't touch it. But they're just saying that it was like this thing that exists in the world, like the enrichment. Notice how I said the enrichment. I have to explain the whole concept of enrichment, because it's being used to say that everybody needs to become resilient by taking a vaccine or something like that. And then you're acting as a sales rep for Little St. James Island, in inadvertently some kind of way. Then there's sins against the temple and sins against the spirit. So like smoking would be a sin against the temple, not against the spirit. It's not as bad. But like, what about soft porn? Like, does it a doorway or an entrance for more exploitation or something? It's like a venue that might attract people to think it's viable, economically a way that they can find sustenance. But I'm not sustenance. Jesus Christ is sustenance. And people will say like, oh, Christ is king. And it's like, well, God created kings, and kings have majesty. Isn't that kind of like a demotion? Are you shortchanging God because God has glory? People don't have glory. Oh, you will never be able to convince me, God, like you don't want to be a witness to the glory, because it's like you already innately understand something, you already innately know it, and you don't want to be proselytized to. And I understand not wanting to be proselytized to, but is it the point of every Christian? Is it the point of a Christian to proselytize or to be a witness? So there's another cult that'll be like, oh, Jehovah Witnesses or something. It's in the name, you know what I mean? They're really nice people, but cult members are always nice and smiling and everything. So does this sound like proselytizing? I'm actually just using my logic right now. I'm parsing it out and just in real time, just putting it, recording it for myself and shit. Like, I assume there's people that can't wrap their head around the concept of you not doing YouTube for views or monetization, but it's an exercise for me to try to express these concepts, and then later on I'll just be more succinct in how I do it. This video is kind of like bouncing around like all over the place, like it's like scattered thoughts, and I'm trying to pull them in. Because I need to see how, like, we use rationalization and conflating terms to protect, like, or gatekeep. It's like as if you can indefinitely build a matrix around somebody to enclose, like an enclosure, or for them to entangle. Because you can extend to the scams, you can breathe new life into your scams. But it's like in the Epstein files, he was like, this is how the Jew makes money, and so like you made a mistake thinking you want to be part of this like club or something, but you can't sell your soul unless you've done something or seen something wrong and didn't say something. So like the allure behind, like, oh, what do you, like, is a ritual or something, you sell your soul and like nothing happens, and now you can get like all your dreams come true for a while, and like, it doesn't really work like that. You would have to immediately regret it. Like, it would be an immediately excruciating, like, it's not like karma that takes a long time to kick in. You would know immediately if you sold your soul and you wouldn't get it back. But there's all this, like, you know, blasé, just like speculating and like for entertainment purposes. You shouldn't be entertained by this shit, and that makes it kind of hard for it to get around in time for it to have the effect so that we can be rid of those people. But even then, in your boredom and wanting to be entertained and be cliquish and be like, people start to assist with more of it happening, because they're conflating in order to say, like, everybody in that crowd over there that's against us is a pedophile or something like that. It's just like unhinged. But that's the thing, is like most of the normies is like supposed to be a good thing, and for recovery purposes you're supposed to study the normies. But but normies is something you would never want to be. Like, you wish you would never have heard about. Like, a lot of people, you can think, man, imagine if we never knew anything about all this like crazy shit. Like, you can see normies walking around that don't know anything about it, and they're happy and everything. But there's something gruesome about being like unaverse and unable to facilitate the occurrence of justice. Like, the elite hide behind you, like kind of hide behind you because they know that upsetting the normies with this shit is off its rocker too. Like, you don't expose people to shit that God didn't put on their heart. He didn't choose them to reveal to them. So you're not exposing nothing, but just enabling or making it like worse. Because we're still entangled. Like a lot of the victims are unentangled, right? They're not here anymore. So the unpalatable and like this shit will wear on your nerves. Like, so it's like that's we're still entangled with it. So like, we're trying to it's just like, you can't get rid of these monsters. There's nothing that you can do about it. And then again, Carlin was saying that once realizing, because you go through all the cycles of denial, cognitive dissonance, and like it's like, what do you do with all this information? Does it make you unbalanced? It makes you like maybe spastic or something. But like, do we really need vindication? I don't really care that I was right a long time ago talking about this shit. It's not, I don't feel like I want the kudos. Thinking about it in terms of, how do we get from up underneath these people that rationalize anything as just how the Jew makes money? And they're not talking about all Jews, but they didn't know we're gonna hear it. I mean, there might be an end of the curse that we can do better to not prolong, like to not extend the curse. Like, it's gonna die eventually, but we just make it last longer. I mean, there's the limited hangout, and then there's also even if you know that Pizzagate is the development of a limited hangout, you know that aspects of it are true, and you know that it wasn't time for a lot of people to speculate on things they didn't know, but some of the things they did know, and you get ridiculed for all of it. I mean, you even talking about prepping, like, there's like a little embarrassment that goes along with like anybody overhearing that I'm watching a channel that's talking about survival. Like, what's wrong with preparation and survival? Why do I gotta be embarrassed? It's like, normies are really causing that, or is that just made up in my own mind with like a precedent from something before that doesn't apply? Like, that it's the tail end of someone else's comment, and I'm misinterpreting it as being personally about me. So it's superimposing my skepticism onto people who are oblivious to it and not responsible for it because they didn't cause it in the first place. That way, those demons can't try to scare you, because they'll try to scare you first before they try to manipulate you. But when they see that you're thinking or smart or something, then they'll be like scared. But if you try to signal that you're not scared, then they know you're chum. They know it's chum, because they're all demarcated militaristically by their prowess and abilities. You have to force capitulation. If you're a demon, you just force capitulation. It's like that scene when everybody was getting passed around something like this little pamphlet inside of one of those political function, like there was a State of the Union address or something, and everybody got this little card and they opened it up and they were like horrified or something. It's like, well, because if ever, like, then they had to act like ooh, that's, I mean, like, ooh, like, like we were glad to receive, like, whatever it was, you were happy to get it. And it was probably some evidence that pushed the pebble for the demons to exert their prowess and ability militaristically demarcated. We don't know what they've seen, so we'll speculate, and then that'll develop a limited hangout. So they can do this shit, and there's nothing we can do about it, and they show it to us on purpose to flex as a flex. Like, so what you want is to actually have the realization that you can't do anything about any of this. So then you're it's like tranquil again, because otherwise you're going to be spastic, you're going to be unstable.